We're going to get started. Welcome to this very auspicious occasion, our first formal ceremony at the White Sands Zen Center. I am thrilled. It's truly a gift to be able to do this, to share the Dharma and to have other people who are interested in sharing the Dharma. So today we will be receiving 3 preceptors who will be receiving the 5 precepts or the 5 mindfulness trainings. And so I'd like to welcome you to this ceremony. Let's start with the Heart Sutra. You have that here in your handout. The Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion from the deep practice of Prajna Paramita perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form, form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, nor extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but Prajna Paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in Prajna Paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna paramita is the great dharani, the radiant peerless mantram, the utmost supreme mantram, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna paramita. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, para gate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. The Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. At this point, I would like to invite our preceptors to come forward. You're over here. Yep. Perfect, perfect. We have Karen, Kim, and Andrew who are here. They had to do a project for me at our yesterday's retreat, which was to write their Dharma names in Sanskrit on a ribbon which will be placed around their necks at the appropriate time. I would like to read, first of all, I'd like you each to do 15 prostrations or deep bows, whichever you prefer. You may begin. pick up your papers. And the four of us will recite the refuge vows. I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and enlightenment, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. And now you will recite the atonement reflection. For all skillful action ever committed by me since of old, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Now I would just like you to do, no prostrations, 3 deep bows to the Buddha, the Master Teacher. Now I would like you to turn. Thank you. Ahead of myself. Now I'd like you to turn to the Sangha, because the Sangha represents all Buddhas throughout beginningless and endless space and time. 3 deep bows, please. Turn around. Now I would like you to do 3 deep bows to the Precept Master. Now I would like you to turn to your left and do 3 deep bows, signifying respect for the Dharma, the Buddha, and the Sangha. Now turn to the right, 3 deep bows. This is for all Buddhas throughout beginningless and endless space and time. Okay, and then behind you, toward the Sangha, 3 deep bows. You may turn and face me. What does it mean to become a Buddhist? I mean, we're all Buddhists, right? But to receive the precepts means you formalized your commitment to the Buddhist path. The Buddhist journey begins by your being able to accept yourself just the way you are in the here and now, both bad and good. When you are able to accept yourself, you can trust and believe in yourself as a Dharma agent for change. When you can trust yourself, then you can help yourself to wake up. If you can wake yourself up, then you can help and wake up others. In the process, you discover your Buddha nature and the Buddha nature of all others, and realize that we are interdependent and an interrelated whole. We are part of the one essence. Buddhists are typically happy people and peaceable beings because it is a joy to follow the path of nonviolence and liberation. They are helpful and responsible because they practice Dharma and they observe the precepts. They are called bodhisattvas, wisdom beings, because they cultivate compassionate heart and serve people with their wisdom eye. Throughout history, a small number of dedicated people have made a great difference in changing our society and reshaping the world community. It is my belief that although small in number, especially on the lakeshore, we Buddhists can make a world of difference and contribute to the creation of a global society that would preserve the ecological integrity of our universe. The three jewels offer us meaning and purpose. The first jewel, Buddha, is one who is fully awake and wise, so we learn to direct ourselves to awakening, keeping a mindful attitude, being wise and compassionate in everyday life. The second jewel, Dharma, is a universal truth, teaching and discipline, so we can learn to direct ourselves over and over toward what is true and right, and mold our life accordingly. The third jewel, the Sangha, is the community of followers and non-followers, and also the community of human beings and non-human beings. This is known as the universal Sangha. We learn to live in peace and harmony with all beings and dedicate ourselves to extending our loving kindness to all. The 3 refuges and 5 precepts promote right livelihood and social responsibility. It is our aim to become living embodiments of the 3 jewels. To remind ourselves of this, we take the 4th refuge, I go to the 3 jewels within myself, as my refuge. One must do one's best to maintain and uphold the precepts. Now, there are 5 precepts, traditional precepts, and 3 contemporary ones. You'll be receiving the 5 precepts today as the 5 mindfulness trainings by Thich Nhat Hanh. Do not harm, but cherish life. Do not take what is not given, but respect the things of others. Do not engage in sexual misconduct, but practice purity of mind and self-restraint. Do not lie, but only speak the truth. Do not partake in the production and trading of firearms and chemical poisons. And then the 3 contemporary precepts. Do not waste, but conserve energy and natural resources. Do not harbor enmity against the wrongs of others, but promote peace and justice through nonviolent means. Do not cling to things that belong to you, but practice generosity and the joy of sharing. Why take the precepts? Actually, you don't take them, you receive them. Peace, love, and happiness form the basis for the true meaning of human life. Therefore, in order to make our lives meaningful and enriching, we must discover peace, love, and happiness in our everyday lives. The purpose of human life is to realize that all beings are an interconnected and interrelated whole, and to enter into the non-dual gate of inconceivable liberation. Traditional Buddhist practice points out a clear direction and provides guidance and support for those who set out on this journey of discovery. The Buddhist journey always begins by taking refuge in the 3 jewels and the 5 precepts. The 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, provide a spiritual focus, while the 5 precepts furnish us with moral guidelines. More importantly, we need personal faith. Faith in Buddhism is very different than other religions. It is not a belief in God or in doctrines. Instead, it is a belief in ourselves. In Buddhism, we believe that we are all endowed with Buddha nature, and therefore, despite our habits and defilements, our original mind is pure, untainted, and completely free from duality. In other words, enlightenment and liberation are inherent in all of us. For this reason alone, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas among us constantly urge us to discover our true nature right now, in this very moment. It is the Buddhist belief that we can always help ourselves spiritually no matter what our life is like. The only reason we don't is not our past karmic hindrances or past difficulties, but our lack of trust in ourselves. We do not believe that we are originally Buddhas. It is as though we question the existence of the sun on a cloudy day because we cannot see the sunlight. Once the clouds scatter, we realize that the sunshine and blue mountains have always been there. Likewise, once we gain wisdom, we know that we have been Buddhas all along. Often people do not take or receive the precepts because they're afraid they may break them later. Nevertheless, Buddhist teachers urge individuals from the Sangha to receive the precepts. The reason is because there is a difference between people who commit wrongdoings after taking the precepts and those who do so without taking precepts. People who commit wrongdoings after taking the precepts are more aware and awake to their mistakes and know how to renew their precepts and start again. For those who commit wrongdoings without receiving the precepts, there is no such awareness. Often they don't even think about their wrongdoings and continue to harm themselves and others. Kim? I'm going to read the 5 mindfulness trainings. After each one, I will ask you, do you receive this precept, this gift? The first mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and mineral. I am determined not to kill, nor to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world in my thinking and in my way of life. Karen, do you receive this precept?
Yes.
Kim, do you receive this precept?
I do.
Andrew, do you receive this precept? The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I vow to practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. Karen, do you receive this precept?
Yes.
Kim, do you receive this precept?
I do.
Andrew, do you receive this precept? The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I am determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Karen, do you receive this precept?
Yes.
Kim, do you receive this precept?
I do.
Andrew, do you receive this precept? Yes. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I vow to learn to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain and not to criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord or that will cause the family or community to break. I will make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. Karen, do you receive this precept?
Yes.
Kim, do you receive this precept?
I do.
Andrew, do you receive this precept? The fifth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I vow to cultivate good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I vow to ingest only items that preserve peace, well-being, and joy in my body, in my consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family and society. I am determined not to abuse alcohol or any other intoxicants or to ingest foods or other items that concern toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. I am aware that to damage my body or my consciousness with these poisons is to betray my ancestors, my parents, my society, and future generations. I will work to transform violence, fear, and anger, and confusion in myself and in society by practicing a diet for myself and for society. I understand that a proper diet is crucial for self-transformation and for the transformation of society. Karen, do you accept this precept?
Yes.
Kim, do you accept this precept?
I do.
Andrew, do you accept this precept?
Yes.
Kim, would you hand me the first ribbon, please? These are the ribbons. They are marked with my chop at the bottom. This is the Dharma name in Sanskrit for Karen. On the back is the date, today's date, in the year of the Buddha. Karen, would you step forward? Karen, your Dharma name is pronounced I can't even say that.
Figures that it would be there.
Vipassana. Vipassana Su, which means unadorned insight. Thank you. Kim, would you step forward, please? Kim, your Dharma name is Maitri Su, unadorned loving kindness. Andrew, would you step forward, please? Andrew, your Dharma name is Vidyadhara Su, unadorned keeper of knowledge. I'd like you to turn around, and I would like everyone to welcome these three individuals into the family that has committed to the Buddhist Sangha. All right. Now, we will all recite the closing gathas. And we say together, "For all unskillful action ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddha's teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain." And we bow. And that concludes our service today. I would like you all to come congratulate. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the most important thing. When you become a monk, you have 3 large sticks of incense that get burned into your arm. When you receive the precepts, you have 1 stick of small incense that gets burned into your arm. Yeah, let's light it again. Karen, would you step forward? Incense. It is not usually the intent of Buddhist practitioners to scar each other, but this is simply a reminder of what happened here today. Every time I look at this, it's a reminder of what happened to me on those days. It's a constant reminder of the precepts I received, the vows I took as a bodhisattva, the vows I took as a Dharma teacher, and then the vows I took as a monk. Thank all of you. Thank you. I'm very proud of you. They went through a very rigorous course of study to come to this point, and this is the culmination of that. And now they have many options moving forward. Thank you all for being here for this celebration. I bow to you.